folks, November is officially over. Which, for some people, means absolutely nothing, except that it's 1 month closer to cheer, goodwill towards men, candy canes, and obese bearded men gallivanting around behind their levitating reindeer. For a large group of other people, though, it is the end of National Writing Month, known affectionately and somewhat weirdly as NaNoWriMo. This is the time that writers all over the country lay down their smoldering laptops and breathe a big sigh of relief. Like that. Because hopefully they've just finished writing a big, fat novel, all in the space of 1 month. Yeah, 1 month. We're talking 30 days of grueling, unending mental strain and anguish here. And to all of you who actually got something out of all that mental strain and anguish, you are awesome. Congratulations. Notice I didn't include myself in that congratulations because I did not finish a novel. Let me rephrase that. I did not do NaNoWriMo. Not that I don't think it's a great idea and all, I just, have a life. That came out not sounding so good. Anyway, I bet all you victorious NaNoWriMo-ers are feeling pretty good right about now. Like maybe you could take on something just a little bit more challenging. I mean, hey, that's a pretty big amount of time, really, when you think about it. What was so hard about writing a novel in 30 days, anyway? Well, here's a new challenge for you. It's called the 3-Day Novel Contest. And yeah, I really said 3 days. Wow, now a month is really seeming like a big length of time, isn't it? So as you've probably surmised by now, this contest is all about writing a novel in 3 days. Not the first couple of scenes, not the first couple of chapters, the whole enchilada. And we know it's not impossible because we have actually heard of people doing this and surviving. We're pretty sure they survived. So let's take a look at what it actually takes to write a novel in 3 days, statistically. To figure this out, we have to divide our 3 days into something a little smaller. As I hope you all know by now, your average day is 24 hours long, which gives you about 72 hours to write your novel in once we multiply that by 3. And yes, watching this video actually does count towards 1 high school mathematics credit. Just kidding. So, 72 hours, or 4,320 minutes, or 259,200 seconds. And you can pick any one of those 3 measurements of time to write your novel in. Although, if I were you, I'd go with the seconds. There's a lot more of them. Okay, so let's say you're writing your average novel of about 80,000 words. And let's also assume that you're typing at the average speed of 40 words per minute. And let's just make one more assumption and say that for every minute you type, you spend 2 more thinking about what to type, which is a pretty crucial step in the writing process. Thinking about what to type. Now, it may look like we're finished, but actually we have to throw a few more complications into our equation to make sure we're looking at things realistically here. First of all, there's sleep. No sleep. Not any. You've all heard the saying, you snooze, you lose. Yeah, that saying was coined exclusively for the 3-Day Novel Contest. Which is why some of us like to call it the Weekend of the Living Dead. Which I guess could be beneficial if you're writing zombie fiction. Second of all, there's the little matter of food and water. You could decide to go ahead and skip the whole drinking thing too, but before you do that, there's one more little statistic that you just might want to check into. 3 days actually also happens to be the maximum amount of time that the human body can survive without water. So, I mean, you could risk it, but it'd be a tad bit of a stretch, yeah. It takes the average human being about 5 seconds to get a good drink of water, if you're a fast drinker. Of course, that's not counting the amount of time it's going to take you to choke and spew water all over your laptop screen when you accidentally drink too fast and guzzle some of the nectar of life down the wrong pipe. It takes the average human about 8.5 seconds to chew and swallow a handful of Ritz crackers and cocktail peanuts. About 3.5 if you leave out the chewing part. Ooh, don't do that. So now we factor in all those little complications plus a few other random variables, like saving your Word document, essential, breathing, debatable, and bathroom breaks, very essential. Oh, and also taking care of that uber annoying itch that you've had between your shoulder blades for the last 5.5 hours. After we add and subtract all those numbers, we end up with roughly 2,100 minutes of actual writing time. That puts you at about 4,000 words above our 80,000 word novel, which gives you time for other unforeseen complications. Like if you found out that that uber annoying itch was actually your 3-year-old brother trying to set your shirt on fire. So hey, if you're up for a little challenge next year, get your writer's brain geared up for September 1st through the 3rd. It's going to be a tough workout, soldier. In fact, you might want to spend the day before the contest doing something to get really pumped for the weekend. Working up your enthusiasm, so to speak. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat. If you are doing the 3-day novel contest next year, go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. Especially if you've worked out a revolutionary new method for devouring your Ritz crackers and a handful of cocktail peanuts in less than 8.5 seconds. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing the research on the amount of time it takes for the average human being to take the average bathroom break. You can do that if you want to.